This is a reminder that on September 21st I'll be doing my second birthday Q&A, and so the questions are still being requested, and so with that in mind, I would please ask that you do make sure that you get in your questions for the Q&A when it takes place on September 21st, and I look forward to seeing all of you then. It's been a long and crazy journey up to this point, and even though we've been through some really rough battles, the hardest one is yet to come as our destiny awaits at the center of this chamber. So with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthew back with you here in Novara Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. So, last time we were able to successfully make our way through the Etherochemical Research Facility. Along the way, we were able to score another victory over regular Van Hydrus of the Guardian Empire, and then after that, we were able to claim victory in a two-person Ascian duel. Yeah, it wasn't just one Ascian we were fighting, it was two. Not only were we going head-to-head with Lahabrea, but his female assistant or partner or whoever she was, we didn't get to see much of her, Eorzea. And we were able to successfully defeat both of them, and then they both went and they merged into one being, which we then defeated again. Then, with some use of some white auracite that was given to us by Eorzea, we were able to use it to destroy Eorzea, and then, after that happened, the Archbishop arrived. He appeared along with his Heavensward guards, his Heavensward knights, and they brought with them the body of the Asia Dragoon Haldroth, one of the great heroes of the Ishgardian part of the world that died many years ago and was considered their greatest hero. And what happened was that the Archbishop actually absorbed Haldroth's powers and turned into a demigod, as it were. And he used his newfound power to strike down Lahabrea, but whether or not Lahabrea was actually destroyed for good remains to be seen. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that we now have a man that has turned himself into a demigod per se, and we have to go chase after him. Because, yeah, once you complete the Etherochemical Research Facility, you cannot leave until you actually take on the Archbishop, Thordan VII himself, in the what could be very well be the final location of the game, the Singularity Reactor. So, yeah, since we can't leave, that means I have to go in with my equipment as is. Now, I feel like I could like my chances because my equipment is in the 80% range as far as its condition, but if this battle draws on for too long, I do truly fear that if I have to do this multiple times, that I will be in big trouble. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. For now, we have a job to do. Let's make our way to the Singularity Reactor and defeat the Archbishop. I'll be back with you in a moment when we get the fight started. And so, there he is. The Archbishop Thordan VII now turned into this. And we have to fight him. As well as perhaps the entire Heavensward Guard. Which would obviously be a definitive yes.
Brothers, the time has come to call upon the true power of the Heavensward.
Oh, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, because of course they're all going to turn into their mutated versions and stand alongside the Archbishop.
Fight me if you will, warrior of light. I care not. All who stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light.
Oh, so you don't care.
By my blessing shall all men be sanctified, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be.
Oh. Not that your intentions aren't noble, but by this?
Yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering?
Oh, now where are they gonna go? They're just gonna let you do this by yourself?
No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life.
Oh, but I do. And so will the 7 who stand with me. If it is indeed 7. Okay, it is an 8-person duel. Against Thordan. Is this the final boss of the game? We are about to find out. I just hope I do not suck too much. Because if we keep failing, then I have nothing to save myself with. We have to either beat him here, as well as any of the Heavensward guards who might approach as well, and only hope that we can claim victory when it's all said and done. I hope that the blue ring that surrounds us is not lethal. Here we go. So much can go wrong. And unluckily for me, most of the people will not benefit from my battle litany. Ooh, hello. Right, starting with the standard rotation. Ancient Waga, huh? Okay, there's another way to avoid that. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Meteor Rain. Oh, I remember that. The name of that. That's Cloud's level 3 limit break in Final Fantasy VII. Oh, Knights of the Round. I'm no so. Well, you're not alone. So am I. Oh, we cannot attack the Knights. The Heavensward cannot be attacked. So perhaps it's in my best interest if I thread the needle. Alright, keep going. And yeah, already one of our tanks is in some serious trouble. Oh, hi! Sir Belgain, huh? Oh, nice to meet you, even though I saw you just go by in a blur. I mean, so far I am not seen... Okay, I see how this works. This is like fighting in Ramu. If you see lightning around yourself, you have to get away from the circle, or else you... Well, if someone's stacked in the circle with you, then you will take their damage as well as your own. You guys put on a good light show, but I'm expecting a little more out of you two, as well as your friends. You probably stay away from bright spears, where it is known that they do cause damage and explode. Dragon's Eye. Yeah, you're playing a battle against the dragons, and yet you have a Dragon's Eye in your hand, and I think it's in my best interest if I stay behind you for this attack called Dragon's Gaze. For a good reason. Yeah, we all got terror. We got struck with terror, and the monk is the one who suffered the most from it as he is, or she is dead. Avoid that, have to take damage. I'm expecting there will be more than just what we're seeing here. Okay, well we've been hit with a debuff again. Hermanos, huh? Is that like his healer? Is that like his personal healer? Well, he's standing in the middle. Not sure what to make of him, but yeah, he hurts. thankfully the debuffs are coming to an end. Oh, stay clear of meteor rain. Come on, Thornton, you gotta do more than this, man. There has to be more than what you're just seeing here. I really believe that there will be more than what we see. Yeah, he went with Dragon's Gaze again and it killed 2 people. Oh, that's not good. Now there's this. Okay, Ancient Quagga. Going to go through that again. Pow! Yeah, we've been doing relatively well that I don't think we're actually going to see a situation where, unless he has more rounds in him, that we're gonna be all that worried. Like, Permanos returns for another round. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of it, and our machinist died again. I stood clear of this attack for the most part. Okay, I guess he's done from this round. Now we get to move on to version 2. Alright, we just have to take the hit. Oh, it's Charabert. Oh, okay, I get it. Oh, chains. I know what happens with chains. You have to run when you're chained. I've seen that before. What I don't understand, though, is why we're not attacking. Okay. Now we get to fight the Knights of the Heavensward. Yeah, and Sir Zephyr's gonna get this attack off. And it will hurt. Whoa! Okay, he disappeared, but I almost ran into that attack. Autofella and Jean Lanu. Actually, is what his name is. As well as Ignace. Oh, yeah, that's a shot. That's a devastating looking shockwave. I'll just follow everyone else. I feel that's the most logical thing to do. But what's really surprised me right now is the fact that I haven't died yet. I was thinking that given the fact that this is my first time attempting this, I would have died already by this point. The fact that I haven't is quite amazing. Right, Autofell is done. Jean Lanu is next. Should increase my buffs more. I do have an opportunity, so why not? So hold off and using triple in a break. Alright. Be frozen to your very souls. Ah! Ah! Oh, no, stay away. Ah! No damage. No problem. And now it's the return of Sir Greneau. And, oh, this AoE is getting bigger. Thing is, everyone just keeps running around here. There isn't a demonstration of offense. Oh. Yeah, I think Comet Circles need to die. Yeah, all of a sudden it's Circus Tower. We're getting a Circus Tower introduction. Battle Fever passed as well. Let's hope that when it's all said and done, oh crap. Alright, that one's down. Now get that meteor circle. Yeah, I think this is the right place to use. No, okay, we won't. Yeah, I was about to use it, but we were beating it so badly, it was like, okay, never mind. And I can see the world. I could also see our possible demise. I'm just... Okay, run where everyone else is! Oh. Stay in here. Stay in here. Yeah, we're surrounded on all sides. Hang on tight! We even get the Final Fantasy Death Shot. Now we'll use this! Oh, we did. That's not all! Oh, damn you. Let's try that again, please. Yes. This is going to... Okay, would you please stop moving the man? Just saying. I mean, we've almost got this fight won. It'll be satisfying to know that we are not wasting my limit break. But the king is down. But is he down for the count? Oh, sorry, but you're gonna run out of gas. And your sword lays at my feet. And as for your Heavensward knights, yeah, they're going down with you. I guess you will share the same power, so therefore, you will disperse into numerous tiny crystals. Sorry, Archbishop.
How can this be? A millennium of prayer and the eye's power combined, and still you stand.
It's what I do. After all, I am the Warrior of Light. Yeah, look into my eyes as you beat your last heartbeat.
Who? What are you?
I just told you. And down he goes. And I and my allies stand alone. The Eorzea Dragoon is truly standing tall. His lance takes down the king's sword. And victory is ours! Thank you, guys. I will give you a bow, you earned it. I will give you a bow, you guys earned it. I couldn't have done this one without you. And so with that, let us get out of here and see what lies beyond. And I even get a commendation out of it. I mean, I'm happy for myself that on my first attempt at this fight, I didn't die once. So when the dust settles... Hey, Estenian.
It is over then. I had hoped that mine would be the hand to end it. But knowing you, there was little chance of that.
Well, it's good to know that you've always been such a stout ally, Estenian. You did your job and I did mine. We are brothers after all, and I believe this belongs to you.
'Twould seem the eye has served you well.
It has. So do you still have a use for it? So that's where the other eye was. Just in case you're wondering. Apparently he can extract it? Yep, he can. So now Estenian has a matching set of Needhog's eyes.
Twin. At long last. All that remains is to take them beyond the reach of man and dragon both. With this task accomplished, my toil shall finally be at an end.
So does this mean we're saying goodbye? Or maybe not. You might not be able to do what you hoped. I mean, you are holding two eyes. I mean, you've been held one eye for so long. Thou hadst done well to resist mine influence, bathed in my power and blood as thou wert. But, alas, in thine anticipation of comfort, thou hast lowered thy guard. Ah, man. I feared this. Oh, poor Estenian. The keening of my fallen kindred, their smoldering desire for vengeance. Mine eyes have partaken 1,000 years of pain, a pain which I shall bestow upon thee. Yeah, we're looking into eyes of torture. Drink deep in my rage, mortal, and become me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. So the war's not over. And my brother is now Needhog. And now we have to fight you again. Now as this new version. The Dragon Song War isn't over. Midgard, what have you to say about this?
My child, what hath thy fury made of thee?
He did have his eyes removed.
Let us away, servant of Hydaelyn.
Well, that's actually up to you to do that. Take us away, Midgard. Oh, Heartbreak City, man. The flagship is gonna go down, but Estenian's been turned into Needhog. I feel so sad for him.
Chief! Over there!
Oi!
Yeah, we're coming back to safe and sound, but we're short an ally.
God damn it, do you always have to cut it so bloody close?
Hi, guys. Yeah, we can go now. We're done with this crazy place. So now, either we've beaten the game...
It would seem he has done it again.
Yeah, of course.
Was there ever any doubt?
No, there wasn't. So either we're at the end of the game, or there's still another place where we have to go to, defeat Needhog again.
Let us return to Ishgard. Our friends will be eager to learn the battle's outcome, and welcome back their champion.
Yeah, because now I'm the only Aesir Dragoon left. Yeah, I know it's on your mind. You don't want to know. Trust me, Ishtola, you really don't want to know. And for that matter, how come we have not... We did rescue Ishtola within the Heavensward storyline, but where were the others? We were fortunate enough to rescue Ishtola, but we're still short 4 Scions. We're still short Menphilia, Ida, Thancred, and Papalimo. And even though we are returning with a victory over the Archbishop and the Heavensward Knights in tow, we can unfortunately not bring everyone back. Put your arms down, it's me. Yeah, Saramric, do something about this.
You are the first soul in Ishgardian history to arrive in our city upon Dragonback. This scene shall be remembered for 1,000 years to come.
And hopefully you won't place me under charge of heresy.
As we had feared, the Archbishop summoned the soul of King Thordan into himself, and thence became a primal.
But he and his knights are no more, thanks to the Warrior of Light.
Your struggles are not yet over, mortals.
Oh, we know. Yeah, now that Needhog is reborn through Estenian.
Whom do I have the pleasure?
Oh, of course.
I am Midgardsormr. I have journeyed with Hydaelyn's champion and observed his deeds in the conflict between man and dragon. Tell me, children of Thordan, do you desire peace?
They wouldn't want it any other way, but... Oh, they're needing to surrender?
My people have committed unspeakable atrocities against dragonkind, even against our own. Would that we could undo these wrongs, but we cannot. Be that as it may, the future yet presents a chance to begin anew. Our nation has broken free of the shackles of a false faith, and Nidhogg shall lead his kindred against us no more.
Oh yeah, about that?
I doubt not that it will require much effort and perseverance. But 'tis my belief that in time, Ishgard will again become a place where man and dragon may abide together in harmony.
I shall remember thy words.
And yeah, I'd hope that they stay true to them.
Yet be warned, Nidhogg's soul liveth on. His unbridled rage hath claimed for its vessel the one thou callest the Azure Dragoon.
Estinian.
Sorry, Sir Emmerich.
Doubt not but that Nidhogg will call out to his brood ere long, nor that they shall answer him. Steel yourselves, for the true test is yet to come.
Oh, I believe it.
Come what may, we will never cease to believe. Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause.
1,000-year war cannot be ended in a day. It may take generations. What thou dost begin, thy children must continue.
And so on and so forth.
Entrust unto them thy hopes and dreams, that peace may reign again, and forevermore.
Yeah, at least I was able to get you on my side by the time it was all said and done there, Midgardsormr. And so away he flies. And that's it. We've beaten Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. And once you know it, just in time for the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance to welcome Ishgard and the land of Kerthus back to the Alliance. Hey you three, it's been too long. But I honestly wish that the three of you could have actually been more involved with the storyline. As well as you too, Sultana. It was good to see you brought back from the dead, so to speak.
Let all here present attest that Sir Emmerich, acting on behalf of the Archbishop, has appended his signature. I do hereby declare that from this day forth, the Holy See of Ishgard shall once more be counted a member of the Eorzean Alliance.
Yeah, it only took us 2 games to do it.
Let our nations move forward as one and stand united against the Garlean Empire.
What do you have to offer? One man offers the sword, she offers a pistol, she offers her staff. What have you got?
For the future of Eorzea.
Your own sword.
For the future of Eorzea!
Well done, guys. And it's definitely cause for celebration, as well as it should be. But in the midst of this historic achievement, where is the Warrior of Light? Where has he gone? No one knows to where the Warrior of Light has run off to. Not able to be present for the ceremony, but at least can take heart that the step in the right direction has been made.
There you are.
Oh, whose tombstone are we standing at?
A noble monument to a noble soul.
Oh, it's Estenien's grave. Yeah, he is my brother after all. Therefore, he is owed the proper respect. Oh no, it was Lord Horshaphon. Sorry, my bad.
From here, Lord Orshaphon can watch over all of Ishgard.
I thought I was paying respect to my brother, but no, we're actually paying respect to the person who actually died. Person who died in all this chaos.
It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet come what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions.
Which is what I wish we could have done it all within the context of the main story of this game. Because, yeah, there's still 4 Scions unaccounted for, and of course the Crystal Braves are still running loose. And then there is Estenien having turned into Nidhogg. It all hurts. And so much is still left unaccounted for. But at least I can take pride in knowing that this main story here in Heavensward, I was able to complete by
so
what
ends
a
a glorious chapter in their tale.
But then begins what?
However, tumultuous days yet lie ahead for Ishgard.
Oh, of course.
After 1,000 years under the yoke of the Church, the people take their first tentative steps into the unknown. And though they spy a glimmer of peace upon the horizon, Nidhogg's vengeful shadow yet remains to darken the way. Be that as it may, so long as the young commander of the Temple Knights and his heroic companions are there to guide them, the people may hold fast to hope.
Indeed they should.
The hope that one day true peace will return to Ishgard.
Hey, look who's back. It's Hilda.
And dragon may live in harmony once more. Let the deeds writ herein never be forgot, that they may inspire generations yet unborn to strive ever heavensward.
So is that it? Are we actually done now? Can we actually see full credits rolling, please? Because, yeah, I know you still have so much you want to tell me, but there's still so much longer to go. But yeah, what I can take from this in a satisfactory manner is knowing that completing this version of Final Fantasy XIV in its first main story took me 21 fewer episodes. If I'm counting back correctly, the main story of Realm Reborn for year 1 took 97 videos. This will take me 76. And so, I feel satisfied in having accomplished that and having gotten to the point where we were able to finally beat this game. Even though I could have said that back in year 1 for Realm Reborn, because, as I mentioned, 21 videos longer, because, yeah, the 96th and final day of my playing this Year 1 storyline of Realm Reborn was split into two. It was split into the run through the Praetorium, and then final credits after that. But yeah, we get to say farewell to Iceheart. Although, even though she fell from a very high height, I get the feeling that we may not have seen the last of her. I get the feeling that we will, within the context of further main story in Heavensward with expansions, that we will see Iceheart again. So I'm not ready to write her off her presence just yet. And as far as what's going on with Lolorito and General Raubon, obviously they still have a lot of work to patch up as far as pushing Ul'dah into the presence of being an actual republic, as instead of a sultanate. Then of course there were the Primals. There were only 2 in this game as opposed to 3 within the Year 1 Realm Reborn storyline. In Year 1 we had to deal with Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda. Here we only had to deal with Ravana and Bismarck. The Ravana fights actually proved to be harder because, of course, I actually died in that one because, not knowing the battle well enough yet, we didn't really know, or at least I didn't really know, what was behind me. And because of that one move that was intended to be a screen clearer, I got killed. However, doing the Bismarck fight and not dying, that was very satisfactory, so I'm happy to have had that achievement under my belt. And so, also we had to see the what should have been a happy reunion for Eorzea and Race Valgar, because Eorzea, trying to be the representative as the Vessel of Shiva, it didn't work out for her. She got shot down, and the Giovanni Horde's ambitions got taken down with it. But of course, the greatest tears will be shed for my brother, my fellow Azure Dragoon, Stenien, now lost to corruption through Needhog's 2 eyes, because, yeah, we saw what could happen to a man when he has one of his eyes back in Year 1 of Realm Reborn, and now we've seen what can happen when he has 2. Oops. Sorry. Sorry, I don't want to have my thing happen where I get locked out of the game after I complete it, because that actually can happen within the context. If you stay in one area for too long, then you can actually get kicked out. I have actually had that happen to me before, and I would not prefer to not have it happen here. Why must you turn to empty beliefs? Yeah, thankfully it was the true Sultana, and we were actually able to save her for real. And Hilda, I don't believe we're done with you yet either, even though your role in Heavensward was pretty much limited to more or less a cameo. I'm sure we'll be working more often with you as we do more expansion of the Heavensward storyline. So I look forward to working with you a little more as well. And of course, Estenian wasn't the only one we lost. Lord Horshaphant, we lost him too. We lost him too in a very painful manner, as his shield was not able to block an attack from a Heavensward knight, and went through the shield, went through his chainmail, and claimed him. And now, as far as leadership is concerned in Ishgard, all eyes will be on Sir Emmerich, as it goes away from being the Holy See, and, well, to be honest, I don't know if we're actually going to see the restoration of Ishgard as a kingdom, because that's essentially how it was founded, was as a kingdom and not as the Holy See. So that is still a piece of missing story that I feel like is still owed to us, and so that's something that I feel that they need to take care of in future patches for Heavensward. And of course, we can't forget about the presence of the Garlean Empire, Emperor Varus, as well as regular Van Hydrus, the new Legatus. They, of course, will be there to bring greater force and be stronger than ever, but of course, knowing that we have now a 4-nation Eorzea alliance, hopefully life will go a little bit better and easier for the Garleans. But knowing them, they'll think of something, they'll find something new, and won't hesitate to ram it down our throats. And then, of course, as mentioned already a few times in this video, we are still short 4 Scions. Where are they all? What happened to them? Why didn't we see them within the main story of the Heavensward for the first version of the main story? How come they have not yet returned? And of course, we also had Matoya, Ishtola's mentor. We could see her again too in future storylines. So she was another person who also had a cameo of sorts, but we still could see her too. And of course, we'll always have our stout allies like Alpha Node. But to be honest, I'm shocked that even though anyone who's watched Realm Reborn knows he has a twin sister named Alice, who only appeared a few times within the main story, she does accompany you when you attempt the Binding Coil of Bahamut challenges, but we didn't see her at all here within Heavensward's storyline, so it stands to reason that hopefully we will see her again, but within a storyline situation and not just within the circumstances of just being there to say, hey, I need you to go and do this for me. And we never really had much of an opportunity to see what Iceheart looked like as Shiva up close and personal, but yeah, just to give you an idea of what exactly it looks like. And tried as they might, the Ossians, even though they didn't have much of a presence within the Heavensward storyline, we certainly did not hesitate to teach them a lesson, either to Laha Brea or to Iga Yorm. So, yeah, they're definitely going to be dealing with bruised egos, without question. But of course we know that since there's still so many of them still around, we know we're still going to have to deal with them. We won't have to deal with these guys though, the Archbishop and his 12 Heavensward Knights, who I was genuinely expecting we would have to fight all 13 of them. If they really wanted to make this a true final boss challenge, they would have had us fight each and every single one of those people. But it didn't work out that way, and I'm kind of disappointed by that. Some showed up simply to just cause havoc all across the battlefield. Some you actually could fight, but I would prefer that we fought them all. But nonetheless, they're all defeated. And hopefully not going to bother us again. Because now we can look to a 4-nation Eorzean alliance, now accompanied by Ishgard. But what will its presence be as we continue on? Because knowing that there's still so much to happen for them, and knowing that we lost my brother Astenien in that way, it was quite sad to see him go like that. Of course, in year 1, when doing the Dragoon training, we actually had to fight him, and then he went crazy just from having one of Needhog's eyes, and so you have to, in a cutscene, unleash an ultimate attack that causes Astenien to go away into thin air, and we didn't know where ultimately he ended up, but he did return in years 2 of the Realm Reborn storyline. And of course, Lord Hoshafon, we will miss you, man. You are going to be you're going to be hard to replace. You will definitely be hard to replace because you were the one knight when we went into Caerthus in the first place that really welcomed us more than anyone else did. And so because of that, you are to be commended for that. And I have no idea where we are. Okay, so now I guess they're just going to show off some illustrations. So obviously there will be more of this. By the time I get this uploaded, I should, because I'm recorded all of these Heavensward episodes within a span of 2.5 weeks. And yeah, that is how long it took me to record all these episodes. Like, I'm so used to recording an episode a day, editing it, and then putting it up on YouTube, or just recording a few episodes at a time, and then spreading them out during the week. But this was the first time that I actually started a Let's Play on a game that was day one on its release, and on top of that, it took me so little time to finish considering how long this game actually is. And because of that, to have all my recording done now within a 3-week period, because I started recording on June 19th, and I started recording my videos on June 19th, the first day of early release, and then today, which was the last day I'm recording this for main story for Year 1 of Heavensward, it is July 10th. So by the time you guys are seeing this, it will already either be the end of... If I'm thinking about this correctly, it will be either the end of August or will already be into September. By that time, hopefully, I should have finished, because that's what my focus is going to be on now, finishing off Ninja Gaiden, which if I haven't done it already by the time you guys see this, then shame on me for not doing that. And as far as progress is concerned on my blind Let's Play of Silent Hill, well, I guess we'll know soon enough by the time we get there, but hopefully, because that game has been such a pain in the ass to play, it's really discouraging me from going further into it because the controls are so bad in that game. It really shocks me that Silent Hill has had as many sequels as it's had, given the fact that the controls are so terrible. I just hope that I figure it out fast enough that I can put out the completion of Silent Hill sooner rather than later. Because I'm sure a lot of people were wondering, of course, when I stopped suddenly playing Silent Hill, when I stopped putting out episodes, like what was going on. Well, I was preparing myself for this Let's Play. And so Ninja Gaiden went on the back burner, and so did Silent Hill. And hopefully by the time I'm actually playing this, or I've finished this, and I put up this last video, you'll have seen me not only finish, of course, Ninja Gaiden, but also get deeper into Silent Hill. As far as what is to become following Silent Hill, it's my hope that the next game that I will be doing, because the next game that I do will be my 25th Let's Play, so that is a milestone. That is an important milestone, actually. And so what I'm looking to do next is a Let's Play of Super Mario 64. I think that's a good game to do for reaching 25 Let's Plays, and it's my hope that when I get the opportunity to play it, that because I haven't played it in so long, it's been over 15 years since I last played the game, but hopefully, if everything goes well, it'll be a good Let's Play. It is one of the rare instances where I am going to attempt to 100% the game. I will seek to get all 120 stars in Super Mario 64, and in so doing, get ourselves to complete that. And then, the next thing that I would have in mind for doing Let's Plays, it will all depend on when I finish A, Silent Hill, and then B, Super Mario 64. Because the next game that I have on my mind, because if I'm calculating this right, hopefully I will have Super Mario 64 done by the end of this calendar year, by the end of 2015. And if that's the case, the next Let's Play I want to do is going to be, well, I do have some ideas for games that I want to do on the side, some quickie LPs, but the main Let's Play that I want to do after Super Mario 64 is Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. And that is a game that will actually be very appropriate for me because it would be around Christmas time, and that is a game that for some reason always was a Christmas tradition for me, and so I'm hoping to take advantage of the opportunity to reintroduce that Christmas tradition for this 2015 year. And then beyond that, I have some ideas for what I would like to do next, but right now I just want to focus on the two games that I've been leaving to rot, as it were, while I've been playing and finishing this. And of course, those two games are Ninja Gaiden and Silent Hill. But I'm looking forward to now moving on, because I don't have to play this anymore, at least not until they start releasing new main story content. I mean, for all I know, they could start releasing new main story content just as this Let's Play is finishing. And then of course I'll have to record that too. But I'm hoping that they did what they did with Realm Reborn and give everyone like 5 or 6 months to play the game before starting to introduce new patches and start introducing new expansions. So that at least everyone gets an opportunity to go through the game, play it, enjoy it, and see if it's worth it to keep going. Because yeah, I've already come across people since starting this Let's Play who were new not only to Heavensward but Realm Reborn, because of course Realm Reborn is the precursor to Heavensward. And if you're starting from Realm Reborn, then of course you have to play through all of Realm Reborn's main stories in order to just play Heavensward. But yeah, there were some people who I came across who were really enjoying the game, and some people, they did enjoy the game, but they didn't stick around for more than a few days. So I guess they just decided to allow their subscription run out. And so, yeah, I'm not going to fault them for that. Everyone has their own takes on these games. I'll respect everyone's decisions, whether they enjoy this game or not, or Realm Reborn before it, for that matter. And so, now as we get to see the brain logos of all the companies who helped Square Enix reach this point, and to think that we're not even done, that there's still so much more, I'm quite sure, that will be coming with not only Heavensward, but if they come up with any further Final Fantasy XIV expansions, obviously I'm going to have to Let's Play them. No choice, because I've just become so absorbed into this game and I've just loved it so much. So it'll be very, very difficult to see me not playing Final Fantasy XIV in any iteration in the distant future. I will likely be playing this or some other future version of Final Fantasy XIV if they do come out with it. But then of course, I guess I should point out, while I was doing this Let's Play, they also mentioned the introduction of that Square Enix is finally going to introduce a remastered version of Final Fantasy VII. So whenever that comes out, I'll have to do a Let's Play of that too, because 7 was the game that really put the Sony PlayStation on the map, and given its success thus far with the PS4 over the Xbox One and the Wii U, yeah, it's safe to say that PlayStation definitely is not going anywhere, which means hopefully neither is the Final Fantasy XIV saga. And you're quite welcome. We have done it. So obviously they're going to give us, they gave us more content to look at. They gave us more cutscenes after the first main story of Realm Reborn. They did so after this second, so I'm quite certain we will be seeing more cutscene as we see the last of the credits rolling by. But boy, this is going to be something to put out, man. And I'm looking forward to you guys watching this. So now, we return to the Ascians.
So Lahabrea and Igaeorm have fallen.
Oh, so Lahabrea actually was killed by Thordan the Seventh. Oh, by the way, hi there, Elidibus. It's been too long. But to be honest, it should have been longer.
Bested by mortals in their attempt to initiate the Eighth Rejoining.
8th
The
rejoining?
day should be so complacent.
You mean there were 7 before it?
And now it falls to me to deal with the consequences.
Oh, and I look forward to it.
Without intervention, the balance between light and darkness will begin to shift, placing our mission in jeopardy.
As it should. By the way, is Eorzea with you?
Hydaelyn's champion has grown too strong. His might encroaches upon the realm of gods. Equilibrium must needs be restored. The time has come for you and yours to join the fray.
And who might you be?
Warrior of Darkness.
Oh, now there's... Oh, that's good to know. Now I'll have a true rival. And he wields a big, bad, bloody axe on the dark side of the moon. Well, that'll be something to look forward to. Anything else we get to enjoy watching? Or are they gonna hit us with the mandatory end of story text? Well, the sun is shining. And we are over in the Dravani hinterlands, where the chocobos are roaming free. And that, yeah, it's Sid and Ashola having fun with the goblins. So is this where we start to hear Needhog?
Remind me, why is there no rest for the righteous?
Because they care, Master Garland.
Exactly. But yeah, you hear that? It won't fail to reach your ears. Yeah, I think that's Needhog. Either that or this structure that was within this dome has now been opened up. And what looks inside? Well, brace yourselves because this is actually something we're going to show off in extra footage. When that happens, it remains to be seen. But you now are now looking at Heavensward's version of the Binding Coil of Bahamut, the mighty Alexander. And yeah, you're thinking like, what is that thing? Well, just like Bahamut, Shiva, Ravana, Garuda, all them, it's a primal. In fact, it's a big one.
Of all the things they could have picked to play with, that's not a toy, you bloody fools, it's a primal!
And it's gonna give us a big hello. It's gonna stare us right in the eyes, and it's not gonna be very welcoming. Oh! But in a way, he is saying, come on in if you dare. Just be advised that the journey will not be a pretty one if you want to come inside. But yeah, that's the Illuminati's little play toy, inviting us inside. Spires of deception crumble to dust to lay bare truths long concealed. Beyond simmering shadow lieth simmering, shimmering light. Yeah, simmering light, like what the heck am I talking about? So, this will end officially by speaking with Alpha Node, and since I am in Fort Top Manor, and besides, I've been in this armor for a little too long. Let's go back to dress uniform, shall we, to end this? After long years of estrangement, Ishgard rejoins her sister nations in the Alliance. Words cannot well express my joy. None of this would have been possible without you, my friend. Change is coming to Eorzea, though it will inevitably bring with it a measure of upheaval, with hard work, peace and prosperity are sure to follow. And yet, even as we look forward to the coming of a new age, we must be wary of old threats. The Lords of Garlemald have not relinquished their claim upon Eorzea, and we shall be forced to contend with them again ere long. And then there's the matter of our comrade Estenian, claimed body and soul by Nidhogg. If there is a way to rescue him, we must find it. Agreed. Suffice it to say, the path ahead holds no shortage of challenges, but together we shall overcome them. And with that, 7,000 gil is mine, and Heavensward is officially complete. So, as mentioned before, it is my intention to take it upon myself to show extra footage, including once we have the opportunity to take on the Primal Alexander when it first becomes available. And then in addition to that, one other thing that they've introduced into Realm Reborn that I would like to start showing off myself. In fact, by the time you guys see this, I should already be well into doing it. They've introduced a new feature into the game where you can take on some of the lower level dungeons by yourself. You can attempt to do them solo at full power with all the weapons and armor that you have at max strength and whatever your stats are at that time, because as shown off before, I'm currently standing at a total of, it'll be over 10,000. It's 10,144 HP was my total. But obviously I do not have all of the maxed out gear yet. I still need to go a long way with that because I did pick up a headpiece before going into the Etherochemical Research Facility, so I do have that, as well as the belt that I obtained. But of course there's still the matter of getting armor, gauntlets, leggings, and greaves. I'm going to be taking an enhanced lance with me, as well as any accessories I can get my hands on, if any. So, I think that given everything that we've accomplished here today, I think this is definitely going to be where we call it here for the Let's Play for now. But, within time, we will show you off everything new that Heavensward has to offer in main storyline, with the challenges with Alexander, as well as new extra footage with solo challenges in Dungeons Revisited in Realm Reborn. And so, accompanied by Alphnode and Tataru, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation and the conclusion of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward, and look forward to seeing all of you in the extra content, as well as my new Let's Plays. So, until next time everyone, this is Matthew and Navora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.